To meet Roz Klein. Hey Roz, how many years were you a Temple member?
We were Temple members 57 years. As soon as we moved to Oceanside, we wanted to be part of the founding Reformed Temple.
Ah, so you were here before the temple began.
Just about at that time when they purchased the property on Oceanside Road.
Wow. Now, in addition to being famous as a founding member, I've heard that in 2002 you were selected for a special honor. Could you tell us about that?
My niece, who lives in Minnesota, wrote a letter to the Olympic Committee stating that she wanted to recommend me to be one of the carriers of the torch because of my activity with children, with education, with, helping people.
And so that was the beginning of the selection process.
Yes, it was. Then they interviewed me, they sent me different correspondence, and they were asked to confirm some of the things she had said about my teaching and my working with different groups and going to college at the same time having 4 children.
And of course, all of those facts were true, and you were selected for the 2002 Olympics to carry the torch.
This is true. Not only that, they sent me all kinds of information as to what type of size uniform I was to wear. I do have all of that here. The running suit, the hat, the gloves. It was quite impressive with their asking me for all this information.
Now, where did you actually carry the torch?
I carried the torch in Staten Island, and it was quite an event. All of my grandchildren, all of my sisters, most of my relatives arrived in Staten Island to cheer me on.
Well, you went in Staten Island. How far did you actually run with the torch?
We actually ran, I would say, almost a quarter of a mile carrying this torch that you see, and it wasn't light.
And it was, but when you actually got
And
it,
it was lit.
it was lit.
It was
Yes.
handed to me lit. I also had one of the Olympic trainers running with me, but my niece also ran with me and was a participant.
Wow. And so across Staten Island, you ran with this torch.
That's right.
Do you remember who lit it for you? Who was previous to you or after you?
I don't remember the name. We were not really introduced to each other. We just met on a meeting area, in a meeting area, and each one was given the time and the station they were to take. It was alongside of a park on Staten Island.
The torch itself is very interesting, Roz. What is it? What does it show on the front of it?
Salt Lake 2002.
Wow, that is amazing. And that was the Salt Lake City.
Summer Olympics.
So the torch had to go all the way across the country after you to Salt Lake City.
That's true. It left New York and then continued onward.
Where did it come to before New York?
I think it came from Europe.
Ah.
I do think it came from Europe. It was flown across the ocean.
So there you are running with the torch, and your family is all around you.
And it was truly exciting and exhilarating to think that an 80-year-old lady could be carrying a torch for the United States in the Olympics.
Well, you should be proud, and so is everybody else here who is watching this. The lessons that we all learn from the Olympics are good lessons. Sportsmanship, team sports. They're all great, great values, and you carried some of those. When you were actually running with the torch, how did it feel?
Heavy, very heavy, and they were concerned, but of course I was quite able to carry it, and very proud about holding this and running for the USA.
Well, you obviously weren't the youngest person carrying the torch.
I might have been the oldest. It usually happens in a lot of the things that I participate in. I don't find too many people older than me involved in these things.
Well, Roz, for anyone who's looking at this video, what advice can you give to them if they someday would like to be a torchbearer for the Olympics?
I say you have to participate in the things that interest you. You have to be involved in just living and carrying on the things that are both helpful for you and for your family and for generally the community. You do have to be involved because otherwise everything will pass you by.
Well, thank you, Roz.